Hi, this is Katrina Sargent, owner and creator of Double Doll Custom Creations. Today we are going to be doing another beginner's tumbler video on how to achieve the glass-like finish with CrystaLac Brite Tone over a single color glitter. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. Since this is a beginner's tutorial, there's going to be a lot of information thrown at you all the way to the end, so stay tuned. I will have everything linked in the description below, like always. If you haven't already went and watched my how to prep a tumbler correctly video, please go and watch that. So I've prepped my tumbler and spray painted it this lime green with CrystaLac. You have to let your spray paints degas 48 hours before you move on. I glitter with CrystaLac's glitter glue, and this is Kermit from Peachy Olive Glitters. It is beautiful. So you just want to base coat your color to the shade of your glitter. Okay, so after it's degassed, I can move on to glittering my tumbler. So I have my glitter glue in a squeeze bottle, and I'm just kind of slathering it on and then trying to smooth it out. It is a lot thinner than Mod Podge if you're used to working with it. I kind of put way too much on this tumbler. I wasn't really thinking of a wine glass, so you're gonna see me kind of wiping some glue off on a baby wipe just so I don't have any massive pooling at the bottom edge or the top rim. This glue does tend to dry fairly quick, so you're going to need to work at a faster pace than you would think, just so you don't have any spots dry on you. But once you have it on, this is why I kind of slather it on first and then remove the extra off. You don't want any major streaks that have too much glue on it. Try to get as even as possible. And then you're going to glitter. I always glitter my bottoms first, and then I go up on the tumbler all the way until it's fully covered. If you're doing full coverage and not taping off the top, if you tilt your tumbler at an angle and let the glitter fall off, you won't get a massive amount of glitter inside your tumbler, which sometimes can be a big mess later. Make sure you tap off any extra, and then you're just going to sit this off to dry once it is fully covered. It normally takes about 30 to 45 minutes to fully dry. My stands are pencil holders from the Dollar Tree, and they're really cheap and they work great. Once that's dry, then you're going to take a piece of parchment paper or wax paper. You're going to smush your glitter. Yes, that is the name of it. If you hear that, this is what they're meaning. You're basically going to be adding pressure down, don't rub, but pressure down onto your glitter to try to get it to lay as flat as possible. This first one, your glitter will come off a little bit. It's only the extra that is not attached. Once you're done smooshing the glitter, make sure you do your bottoms and your rim. You're then going to spray it with E6000 pump spray. Okay, this is just a aluminum tray I have, and I put some foil on it just to kind of protect my surface. And then you're going to spray your entire tumbler. If you do not do this step and you do a spray paint clear sealer, you're going to have to wait 48 hours again for the aerosol to degas. This is why these pump E6000 is so amazing. However, they do clog and mess up sometimes, so you need to take a baby wipe with a little bit of alcohol on it and clean up your nozzle. Take the top completely off. You see how this one got stuck inside? It kind of has a little glue stuck inside that comes off really easy. It's just I didn't clean this one very well after I got done using it. So it's a good practice to kind of wipe everything off after you use it so this doesn't happen. You can also take your nozzle and wash it with really hot soapy water to get any residue off your nozzle. And then after about an hour, I smush the glitter again once that E6000 has dried. This is just to get all that glitter to lay as flat as possible and to seal it so you won't have to use so many coats of Brite Tone or Extreme Protection, which one you're using. I do this probably 2 to 3 times. If I am going over chunky glitter, I do more. I'll do a video on chunky glitter in the future, but the more times you do this step over and over again, the less coats you're gonna have to do of Brite Tone. So just repeat the exact same steps. Spray it with E6000 spray, let it dry, smush it, and then once you are completely done with this sealing step, you're going to then put it on your turner after everything is dry, and you're going to start adding your Brite Tone gloss for these first couple coats. I've added mine into this squeeze bottle. It makes it so easy to apply. If you're going to be using CrystaLac's Extreme Protection or EP for your first couple coats, I would not use Extreme Protection past the first 3 coats. It's a little cheaper than Brite Tone, so some people do use it for their first couple coats. I use Brite Tone from start to finish, but that's just me. Use a gloved hand, and since this is over raw glitter, this is my heaviest coat I do. You want to make sure it's completely covered that raw glitter. So all I'm doing is kind of putting some on the cup, letting it turn, and very gently rubbing my hand along the tumbler surface. The top to the bottom to the top, just to make sure it's covered before I let it turn. And then you just walk away. You don't do anything else to it. You let it turn for 3 to 4 hours, and then you can add your next coat. So this time, it has been 4 hours. You can feel the glitter still, but it is not as pronounced as the one before. So I'm just adding a little bit of Brite Tone and then taking my hand and rubbing it along the tumbler. I rub from top to bottom to top, probably only 2 rotations, and then I walk away, and then I am done for that 4 hours. Then you can add another coat. Yes, CrystaLac, you have to do a lot more coats than epoxy because it's way thinner, but you can do coats more often and it takes you a lot less time. So this is now my 3rd coat. It's even going to be thinner than my previous 2. Once I do about 5 coats over glitter, then I will sand. I do not sand until I've reached about 5 to 7 coats because I don't want to remove any glitter color. When you're doing the bottoms, just do a little bit on your hands and rub the bottoms. So I have done 5 coats. As long as I don't feel any glitter spots, I will move on to sanding. I am taking a sanding block, an extra fine, and I'm just kind of rubbing over any uneven spots. I do this for the entire tumbler until it is like baby butt smooth. Okay, if you feel any massive places or chunky glitter that is not laying flat, you might not have smushed it and laid it flat enough before you moved on to Brite Tone. You can take a sharp craft knife and kind of slice away the glitter spot. Don't keep sanding because you'll remove the color. You also have to do your rims, which this means you need to have a stainless steel section on the very top visible. This will help the Brite Tone attach to the tumbler itself not on the top where your lid goes, because that's how you can get a broken seal. When they wash your tumbler, your water can get between your glitter and your tumbler. If this happens, and then everything can start peeling off all your hard work down the drain. I then take a sharp craft knife and run it along the top area to get any Brite Tone or EP that is went on the top. If you have any inside your tumbler, you can take a craft knife and run it inside, or you could even just take a fingernail and scratch it off. It comes off very easy. And then once you're done sanding, just take a clean lint-free cloth and kind of wipe up your tumbler to get any dust or sanding residue off your tumbler. After you've finished your top lip and you've sanded your whole tumbler, you can add a decal at this point if you are. If you're adding a decal, you're then going to be doing more Brite Tone over the decal until you don't feel any edges of the decal. I do probably 3 to 5 coats of Brite Tone over a decal, especially if it's layered vinyl. If it's a water slide, you need to do a coat of Brite Tone between sanding and adding the water slide, because you will see your sand marks. So I just Brite Tone until I don't see any streaks or any sand marks, until I don't feel a thing, until it's glass smooth. If it's not glass smooth when you move on to this, you can sand between coats. If you have a decal or a water slide, I would not sand until after you've had at least 3 coats over it, so you don't remove any of your vinyl or water slide. Make sure everything is completely coated, especially around the bottom edge or the top lip where you sanded that stainless steel area. You want to make sure you have a good seal. This will help the longevity of your tumblers. I hope you learned something new. Hope you liked the video. Please like, share, subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I load a new video, which is every Wednesday. If you have any questions or comments, please write them in the comments. I do write back. Thank you everyone for your continued support.